Okay. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming in. So this is in reference to the article in the Marianas Variety with the inmate that posted some pictures on Facebook with smoking meth and utilizing a cell phone and whatnot. I will state that in the last 4 weeks, from maybe around the beginning of April, we were able to confiscate cell phones, a total amount from April 18th all the way till now to about seven total cell phones. Those cell phones are now with our federal partners, okay? And the investigation is still ongoing, but I do want to say this, that, the article that was brought about this morning, I'm going to ask the Marianas Variety to stick to the facts, okay? There's a lot of struggling with objectivity there. There's a lot of misinformation that I feel shouldn't be spread out like that, especially when the case is still ongoing. It's still under investigation. We're doing our best. I'm doing my best from the first day that I got in here. And I will say, during those times when we retrieved those cell phones, we started with 2 on April 18th. Then we got another one on April 20th. Then another one on the 25th, the 27th, the 28th, and May 2nd. During those times, we initiated emergency shakedowns. I even came in. I brought the dogs in. We did a full shakedown. We were able to recover these contrabands, the cell phones and some meth as well, and some other contraband. I will say that my staff is working hard and diligently in moving forward with this investigation, and we're doing our best. Again, I just this having to stop and bring you folks in to talk about this kind of hampers the investigation, because I got to stop and I have to deal with this, and I understand, but please just stick to the facts. Stick to the facts. That article, there's a lot of misinformation, okay, and it could also tarnish an employee's name and reputation who has nothing to do with that case. Yes, that individual is on administrative leave, but nothing to do related to this case. So please be mindful of that, and I ask you, please be mindful of that. The reality is I'm cleaning up a lot of the last commissioner's mess from the last administration, and I'm doing my best to clean it up. There were a lot of things that the last commissioner didn't do, and I'm not one to take shots at the last commissioner, but gosh, if he would have only cared, this place wouldn't be the way it is right now. Okay, I don't know the last commissioner. I know his name, but I'm cleaning up a lot of it. I've inherited a lot of the bad stuff, and I'm dealing with it. Okay, and I'm here. I'm committed. I'm committed to my department, and I'm committed to the people of the Northern Marianas. And I'm open for questions.
And so the post is from someone named Gerald Sablon. He also lists himself on Facebook as working here at DOC. So can you just confirm some of the facts there? Is he the inmate who posted it, who's a former ex-officer? Or?
Gerald Sablon is an inmate. He's an inmate here. As we all know, you can post anything on Facebook. You can't always believe everything you post, or you can't always believe what people post on Facebook, because I could post on Facebook that I'm in Honolulu, but I'm here.
So he has never worked at UFC?
No, he's an inmate. Okay. That's confirmed.
And Commissioner, this you found, you said, I think 7 cell phones in the course of when you first got here. So it looks
in the last month.
In the last month. Yeah. So it looks like some staff are involved then. Because how is it getting in? How are you finding this?
And that's the next message that I want to send out to anybody who's making these bad choices or these wrong choices, to be my staff included. You know, there's corruption, and there's people who make bad choices in every department, okay? DOC included. I mean, that's the reality, and that's what's been going on in all prisons, okay? You know, being in this role, I have to be able to pivot and be compassionate and be empathetic and be supportive and be uplifting and empowering to my staff, to the people who want to do their jobs 110%, who are committed to being here. And at the same time, I have to be able to deal and hold those individuals who want to lead a life of criminal activity accountable. And I'm not just looking at terminating them. Like I said in the beginning, I'm looking for them to possibly do some time. I mean, we all need to be held accountable for our choices, right? And unfortunately, you know, the staff who may be bringing these items in, I'm not saying they are, I'm not confirming or any of that, but if at the end we find that they are, we're going to hold them accountable to the highest level possible. And again, I'm working with my federal partners, and I'm going hard. And if you think that you're just gonna, I'm gonna get away with this, or I'm just gonna get terminated, you're wrong. And that is my clear message to anyone, even anybody who's colluding with staff members in here. I mean, it's gonna unravel, and it's gonna unravel in the next month, and people are gonna be held accountable. And that's my firm message.
You said you launched an investigation into the facilities itself. What about your officers and personnel? Have you started investigating them? Find out
Given that the investigation is still ongoing, again, I can't really speak on any of that. Just know that we're looking at individuals, okay? I'm working with federal partners, okay? To include the FBI, HSI, also DPS, okay? And we're going hard on this. And this message, I'm sure the individuals who may be colluding and responsible or connected to this, we're coming for you. And I'm not just saying that lightly. We're coming for you, and this needs to stop. I gave everybody a clear message when I came on board. If you know, you know. If you know you're doing something wrong, you need to stop. You need to stop now. I guess that message wasn't taken in, and it wasn't taken serious. But since I got here, we've been shaking down every day, every other day, every 2 days. I've been bringing the dogs. We're coming in at different hours of the night. I come in myself as well to assist with the shakedown. So I'm committed, and this is where we're at. And again, to the other media, stick to the facts, okay? Stick to the facts. Let's be objective in our reporting, because when you tie stuff in there that aren't even the facts, then that's misinformation. So let's just stick to it. And also know that when you do stuff like that, it hampers my investigation. It does. But I brought you folks in here to let you know that this is where I'm at and this is where we're at. Okay? Total of 7 cell phones in the last 4 weeks, 3.5 weeks. Okay? And we're working with federal partners.
And so some inmates have been caught with drugs and contraband such as cell phones. This may be because they're locked in. Is there any other activities that you're working on to possibly distract them, or, as you say, correct their behavior?
Sally, that's a great question, because, that's part of my vision, right? Providing public safety through rehabilitation and operational excellence. Before I even can get to the rehabilitation piece, I need to clean house. And I'm cleaning house, and I'm going to flip this place upside down. And you know what? The reality, it's a part of it. It's going to come with it. But once we're there, and I'm slowly bringing in programs, religious, Bible studies. We're working on the first reentry program with SAR and the Hope Center. So these are things that we're working on. I'm working on expanding on the outreach program. We're working on getting the kitchen up and running again, so the inmates can start cooking their own foods. Working on that. I mean, I could keep going. The list could keep going on and on. Another one of the programs would be in-treatment services for the inmates here who can't go outside. So that's on the plate. It is. But right now, the security of the institution sets the priority. That's that. Setting that foundation and getting us to where we need to be. And we're almost there. We're getting there. Let me take that back. Not almost there, but we're getting there. Okay? In the last 3 to 4 months, this place has just, transformed. Staff are the staff that are committed are just coming out and they appreciate the leadership. A lot of it is maybe they didn't have that leadership. So I'm giving them the chance. We're all working together. We're coming together. That's why we decided to have this Correctional Workers Week on Monday to commemorate, everything that they've done thus far, instead of just hiding in the shadows or in the negative light, because again, there are good people here who do good things, and my job is to highlight what they do.
And as part of the administration's vision to train employees.
Oh,
again,
absolutely.
officers, is
Absolutely.
That currently ongoing?
Well, absolutely. Once we're done cleaning house, we're getting to that space. Yes, training is on the top of my list as well. Getting trainers out here to train some of our, to train staff to become trainers, so we can just train here and not have to go to the mainland all the time. Because these are tough times financially. So if we can get them to come here and train trainers, and not just DOC, but other departments. Let's share this with all the law enforcement departments, so we can each have a representative, and the more knowledge to be passed around, the better for all of us. So that's part of my vision. But yes, a lot of training, and there's a long list that we can go on. But yes, that is on the top as well.
And, Commissioner, just to follow up, so you mentioned you don't want to necessarily directly attack the last commissioner, but based on my understanding, he had a pretty close circle here. So are you changing out your top brass?
There are changes. Changes are happening, and as you know, for I don't know how many years, I've had this department never had brass on on all shifts. I believe this is the only department that doesn't have that, and I had to change that and place my brass on all shifts.
But are you gonna remove and rehire for your top?
Let's say that's another moving part that I'm dealing with. The change in command structure. Changes are happening, and they're good changes. And like I said in the other day during my speech,
It wasn't just the commissioner calling the shots here either. Right?
At the end of the day, it starts from the top. It starts with complete ownership. If something happened during my watch while I was here, and a captain or a lieutenant or a sergeant made a big mistake, I'm going to take ownership, complete ownership for that. It starts with me, and I'm going to lead from the front the best way I can. And if people are going to make those mistakes because maybe I made that call, I'm going to take complete ownership because it was my call. I'm not going to say it was his fault. It starts with me. Things that happen in the low level rolls uphill as well. So I'm very mindful of that, and I'm just here to be of service the best way I can to our staff and our people.
And I know training never ends. You always get training on the job. But it almost seems redundant to train officers again after they just went through an academy where they were trained. So do you think more needs to be done before they graduate to make sure they're truly at a standard that you're acceptable with? I can't help but also notice that the police chief advised that academy that graduated some of the most recent officers at NMC. So do you think the academy needs to start also reevaluating its training model?
I think we need to reevaluate and reassess all our models. You know, I think we need to step back and look at things from first principles. Okay, what are the basics? Let's get back to the basics. What worked before and what works now? What can we implement? Let's break it down, you know, and again, I'm open to having that dialogue with you know, the other chiefs and the other commissioner and start moving towards that, start progressing towards that.
And so I'm sure we'll expect another update once the investigation wraps
Yes,
up.
and, you know, again, trust me and believe in me that I will give you an update once everything is complete. Once I have everything in front of me and it's go time, you will be the first to be called. Okay, but just trust me that I'm doing my best, and everybody's doing their best to root out this criminal activity.